In this section, we're going to discuss the one-way if selection statement. The syntax of a single path or one-way if selection statement is if, and inside of parentheses, a condition statement, and that statement is terminated with a semicolon. The condition, if you remember, is a Boolean expression. That means its value is either false or true. Usually, these statements are formatted as shown in the middle, if, condition, and then on the next line, indented is the statement that will be executed if the condition is true. Therefore, the set of options on this condition is statement or do nothing. If condition is false, there is no target statement to execute, therefore nothing happens. The top form shows this, I think, a bit better. If false, you just don't do anything. You go to the sequentially next statement. And that's still true with the reformatted version. It just goes on to the statement following the if condition and statement. We call this a single path or a one-way if statement because there's only one full statement which is executed, and that occurs only when the condition is true. Let's talk about that statement. If the condition is true, we execute statement. That is in singular. That means that can only be one Java statement there, not more than one. The single statement that's executed is often, as I showed before, indented under the condition. If one were to make a mistake and put a second statement also indented under this first statement, it would look to the person reading it as if two statements would be executed because of the condition being true. That is not correct. The compiler ignores formatting, so it doesn't see that indentation. What if, however, we do want to execute multiple statements if the condition is true? There's two ways to do this. This slide shows the wrong way. What I do is I put if condition statement 1, if condition statement 2. That is, for each statement we want to execute, if the condition is true, we write that many if and condition statements in front of it. We have a lot of testing going on here. There has to be a better way. The second way is to encase all of those statements that need to be executed if the condition is true inside of curly braces. The top line is the open, the very bottom one is the close. That makes a block statement. To the compiler, everything inside and including those curly braces is considered one statement. So if condition statement, single statement, works with a compound because the compound statement is one statement, even though inside it has many more. Let me show you a quick example of an if conditional executing. Here we're going to simulate a personal assistant. This assistant will tell you to take your umbrella as you're leaving the house and then see you later. So let's run it. And there we see, take your umbrella, see you later. If we're in England, maybe that's good advice. Every day you leave the house, take your umbrella. Here in the sunny southwest of the United States, this is not great advice because we almost never need to take our umbrella. So it'd be a waste of time. This is not ideal. So what we want to do is add a condition to say if it's raining or threatening rain, then take your umbrella. Otherwise, don't. I will do that first by creating a Boolean variable. We'll call it is threatening rain. We'll assign that to value false. That is going to become our condition. Obviously, conditions can be far more complicated, but they will never be anything other than a Boolean value. We'll say if is, and for stylistic reasons, I'm going to indent it. Again, the compiler doesn't care. It makes it easier for me as a human to read. Now we have a case where we're going to test something to see if it's sensible to take your umbrella. Let's see what our personal assistant says. I've set false because I'm assuming my area. Let's run it. And it just says, see you later as I'm leaving the house because it's not threatening rain. no need to take the umbrella. Let's change this now to true. Execute it. And now it says, oh, it's threatening rain, take your umbrella. Based on that condition, I execute the statement following the condition if it's true, or I don't execute it at all if it's false, and I move on. So that's the point of a condition. Because this is a one-way or a single path, I'm either going to execute line 7 or not execute it. That not execution is an option. So it's an either or. Do one or do the other. Never do neither. Never do both.